No, I seriously don't see $1 million salary in the WNBA anytime soon.
Remember when you first heard about the pay gap in sports? It probably made you angry, right? Well, get ready to feel that again, because Caitlin Clark's situation is mind-blowing.
Okay, could you see, say, $500,000? Maybe, out of the top one or two players in the league. And then, of course, somebody like Caitlin Clark's going to make a ton on endorsement.
Trump's praising her skills, but he's also saying she shouldn't expect NBA-level money. It's got me fired up, and I bet it'll get you talking too. Let's dive into this hot topic and see if we can make sense of it all. You know what's wild? Donald Trump just gave a major shout out to Caitlin Clark. I'm not kidding. Picture this. Trump's on a podcast, talking sports, and out of nowhere, he starts raving about Clark. It's like he suddenly became her biggest fan. He's saying stuff like, "She's incredible, and I've watched her. Her shot is unbelievable." Trump's practically gushing over Clark's skills. Can you believe it? The former president is fanboying over a WNBA rookie. But here's where it gets really interesting. Trump starts wondering out loud if Clark could shoot like that in the NBA. Yeah, you heard that right. He's comparing her to the guys. Now, I'm not saying Clark's about to suit up for the Lakers or anything, but Trump's words are causing a major stir. People are going crazy debating this. Some are like, yeah, Clark's got game. She could totally hang with the NBA stars. Others are shaking their heads, saying it's not even a fair comparison. It's like the whole sports world is arguing about it. You want to know what's even crazier?
So, Trump had a lot to say about Caitlin Clark. He was very, very positive about the Indiana Fever star in a subject.
Trump didn't stop at just praising her skill. He started talking about how marketable Clark is. He's saying she could be a huge star, bringing in tons of fans and money to the league. It's like he sees dollar signs when he looks at her. So now everyone's wondering, is Trump right about Clark's skills? Could she really hang with the guys in the NBA? Or is this just Trump being Trump, saying wild stuff to get attention? Here's the thing, Trump praising Clark like this is a big deal. Love him or hate him, when a former president starts talking about a WNBA player like she's the next big thing, people listen. It's got everyone talking about women's basketball in a way they haven't before. But hold up, because this story's about to take a wild turn. You think Trump praising Clark is surprising? Just wait till you hear what he says next about WNBA salaries. It's gonna blow your mind. So Trump's all about Caitlin Clark's skills, right? But when it comes to her paycheck, things get crazy. We're talking jaw-dropping, head-scratching numbers here. You know how much the most hyped rookie in WNBA history is set to make? It's so low, it's sparking a nationwide debate about women's pay in sports. Get this, Clark's rookie salary is just $76,535. Yeah, you heard that right. The girl who's breaking records left and right is making less than some folks flipping burgers at fancy restaurants. It's insane, and it gets even crazy. Her entire 4-year contract, it's worth $338,056 total. That's like pocket change for most pro athletes. Now, Trump's not holding back. He's calling $1 million WNBA salaries a pipe dream. Can you believe it? He's basically saying, don't get your hopes up, ladies. The big bucks aren't coming anytime soon. And you know what? People are losing their minds over it. Russell Wilson, the NFL superstar, is tweeting about it. He's saying, these ladies deserve so much more. Even President Biden is jumping in, talking about how women in sports aren't getting their fair share. It's like the whole country is suddenly talking about WNBA salaries. But here's where it gets interesting. Trump's got this wild idea. He's saying the league could give Clark a bonus. Like, hey, she's special, so let's pay her more. He thinks it wouldn't kill the league to shell out some extra cash for their star rookie. But that's got everyone wondering, is that fair? Should Clark get special treatment when other players are struggling too? It's a tricky situation, right? On one hand, Clark's bringing in tons of attention and new fans. She's like a one-woman marketing machine for the WNBA. But on the other hand, what about her teammates? What about the veterans who've been grinding for years? It's not an easy question to answer. So now we're all left scratching our heads. Is Trump right about WNBA salaries being a pipe dream? Or is this the moment when everything changes? Could Clark be the one to finally break through and start earning those big paychecks? But hold up, because this salary drama? It's just the beginning. You won't believe what happens next in Clark's wild ride through the world of pro basketball. It's about to get even crazier. Imagine making 76Ks at your job, but then scoring a side gig worth millions. That's basically Caitlin Clark's life right now. But here's the kicker. Her situation is causing some major drama in the WNBA. Why? Because not everyone's getting the same sweet deal. So we all heard about Clark's $76K rookie salary, right? Sounds pretty rough, but hold up, because things are about to get wild. WNBA Commissioner Kathy Engelbert just dropped a bombshell. She's saying Clark could actually rake in $500,000 this year. Can you believe that? You're probably wondering, how's that even possible? Well, it's all about those sweet endorsement deals. Clark's not just playing basketball, she's becoming a brand. Nike, Gatorade, State Farm. She's got them all lining up to work with her. It's like she's collecting sponsorships like they're Pokemon cards or something. But wait, it gets even crazier. Engelbert's hinting that Clark might sign an 8-year deal with Nike worth $28 million. That's not just WNBA money. That's straight up NBA cash we're talking about. And get this. It might even include her own signature shoe. Clark's not just playing in the big leagues, she's creating her own. Now you might be thinking, this is awesome. The WNBA is finally paying up. But here's where things get complicated. Clark's situation, it's not the norm, not even close. While she's potentially pulling in millions, a lot of her teammates and other WNBA players are struggling to make ends meet. It's like Clark's living in a whole different world from the rest of the league. So now everyone's asking, is Clark the exception, or could she be the game changer that the WNBA has been waiting for? Could her success open doors for other players to score big too? Or is this just going to create a bigger gap between the stars and everyone else? It's a tough question, and there's no easy answer. But one thing's for sure, Clark's making waves, and the whole sports world is watching. Will she be the one to finally break the glass ceiling for women's basketball? Or will her success just highlight how far the league still has to go? But you know what? This salary drama, it's just the tip of the iceberg. There's so much more going on behind the scenes that's about to shake up women's basketball. Trust me, you're gonna want to stick around for what's coming next. Alright, let's zoom out for a second. Trump's praising Clark, but saying the WNBA can't pay big bucks. What's really going on here? It's time to dive into the crazy world of women's basketball economics. And trust me, the numbers are going to blow your mind. You know what's wild? The WNBA is just a baby compared to the NBA. We're talking 28 years old versus 78. That's like comparing a toddler to a grandpa. And when it comes to money, it's not even close. The WNBA is pulling in about $200 million in revenue. Sounds pretty good, right? Well, hold on to your hats because the NBA, they're raking in $10 billion. That's 50 times more. It's like comparing a lemonade stand to Amazon. But here's where things get interesting. The WNBA might be the little league that could. Their viewership, it's going through the roof. We're talking 36 million unique viewers in 2023. That's the highest since 2008. And get this. Attendance is up 16% from last year. People are showing up to watch these ladies ball out. And Caitlin Clark, she's like a human magnet, pulling in fans left and right. Her games are breaking attendance records. It's like everyone suddenly remembered how awesome women's basketball can be. But you know what's crazy? Even with all this excitement, the WNBA's media rights are only worth about $60 million a year. That's peanuts compared to the guy. So now everyone's wondering, could Clark be the one to change everything? To make women's sports as big as men's? It's a tough question. The WNBA is still growing, still figuring things out, but with stars like Clark bringing in the crowds, who knows what could happen? Here's the thing though, it's not just about one player, it's about the whole system. Did you know that 80% of sports news shows don't even mention women's sports? It's like they don't even exist. How are women supposed to compete when they're not even getting airtime? But you know what? Things are changing. The WNBA is working on doubling their media rights. More people are tuning in. More fans are showing up. It's like we're on the edge of something big. And maybe, just maybe, Clark's the spark that's gonna set it all off. So what do you think? Is women's basketball about to have its moment? Or is this just a flash in the pan? One thing's for sure, with players like Clark lighting up the court, the future of women's sports is looking brighter than ever. So, is Caitlin Clark the future of women's sports? Man, that's a tough one to answer. She's like a tornado on the court, breaking records left and right. And now she's got everyone talking, from Trump to Biden. That's crazy, right? But here's the thing. Clark's not just dominating on the court. She's raking in those endorsement deals like nobody's business. Nike, Gatorade, State Farm, they all want a piece of her. It's like she's become this walking, talking billboard for women's sports overnight. But let's be real for a sec. One superstar can't change everything on her own. It's going to take all of us to make a real difference. We got to keep watching those games, keep talking about these amazing athletes, and keep pushing for fair pay. Clark's got the ball rolling, but now it's up to us to keep it moving. You know what I mean?